Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon to you all here. A happy March 6th, 2025 here, this lovely Thursday afternoon. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. We had a long week, last couple of days here of severe weather. Good news is our troughing features and some different factors, as I mentioned to you guys before this event happened the last couple of days, did not allow for a significant, widespread, robust outbreak. We had a lot of wind. We had a couple tornadoes in Texas in and around some portions of North Carolina across the southeast, but nothing that could have been worse than what we were forecasting. So that was a good thing that happened there. I will say though, typically when we get these setups at the beginning of March, they typically do like to dud out. Sometimes you get a lot of these busting scenarios, which is a good thing because we're still trying to transition from winter to spring. So we've also had a lot of systems coming through, so we've not had the time for our dew points to increase all the way up to max amount where they could be. When you get a lot of these systems that move through back to back to back to back, you can sometimes when you get one of these bigger troughs like we had this week that moved through, they typically allow for less moisture pooling and instability to happen. And so that's what basically happened in a nutshell. So I do want to talk to you guys about what's getting ready to happen here over the next couple of days, really the next week here. We've got a pretty big active pattern that's going to be continuing to happen. We've already got our next storm system spinning back here over into California. This is actually going to dip down and move through the Four Corners into Texas. And we're going to actually have the threat for severe weather on Saturday and Sunday across the southern plains, the southeast here, and the mid-Atlantic as we go into Saturday and Sunday. And we'll talk more about that here in just a second. We've also got an upper level ridge that's going to be developing here, giving us an above average temperature trend, once again giving us the warm sunshine. What we need is for spring here, really over the next couple of days. We'll still be below average here, where that dip in the jet stream is kind of still considered at, with our system moving off to the east here for much of the Northeast and the Ohio Valley for the next couple of days before things do start to warm up eventually. But that's just kind of something I wanted to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be seeing here over the next couple of days. This is the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here for the day 3. We don't have anything today and we don't have anything tomorrow severe weather wise, but we do have severe weather on your Saturday forecasted right now from the Storm Prediction Center, and this goes from the Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth area all the way into New Orleans, most of Louisiana, once again in the threat for marginal severe weather, down into southern Louisiana and Alabama and the Florida Panhandle here, the same areas that just had severe weather. The good news is we're not expecting a widespread severe weather outbreak out of this. This is going to be very conditional, I think, if our troughing does set up. I do already know that we're going to have very, very low instability values, at least as of right now, unless things change. We'll keep you guys updated on that. And the good news is, like I said, with our system that just came through, we're not going to have a lot of time for our moisture and instability to rebound for this next system that won't really give us that big of a robust threat. I could see a slight risk being issued if the Storm Prediction Center sees fit somewhere in the Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana area here, so we'll kind of watch this, but we might go live for this on Saturday depending on how severe it is. If this is a wind and hail threat, we'll probably go live. If it's a tornado threat, we'll probably go live. We typically go live for most of this stuff, so just keep your mind updated on that here. We'll keep you guys updated on that, and as we get updates on this as well. The day 4 through 8 outlook, very, very clean as well. We're not expecting anything on day 4 through 8. They do mention talking about the uptrend for severe weather as we go into next week. That's going to be March 10th through the 12th, maybe the 13th, 14th, and 15th as well. So I do expect a second week of active weather in March as we get into the third week as well, potentially seeing more of an active, robust threat for your severe weather. Another thing I want to show you guys here as well, this is a graph that gives us an average of our supercell composite, and this is definitely something I pay attention to when forecasting my weather here. This is what we could see severe weather wise this weekend here, so very, very low end severe weather risk, but I want you guys to pay attention to this. Look at the spike of severe weather that we get as we go into March 11th, March 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. We're going to have a very, very favorable troughing that's going to set up to allow for maybe even a robust, significant severe weather threat that could actually happen as we go into March 13th, 14th, and 15th. So we're going to keep you guys updated on this. You can even see as we go into the third week of March and even into the 20th and beyond, seeing active troughing and active severe weather potential. So this isn't saying we're going to get, widespread severe weather or tornado outbreak as of now, but basically what we're looking at is an uptrend. And you can see week 2 next week, seeing where that severe weather is going to be at, mainly across the Texas, Louisiana, Dixie Alley corridor as we go into this weekend and early next week. But I want you guys to see this. This is something that's been trending a lot, and this is supercell composite, so this gives us an idea where our stronger thunderstorms are going to be, just an idea of where we could see that severe weather at here on a graph. And this is something as we go into week 3 that I'm definitely monitoring the threat for severe weather from the southern plains through the Arklatex up and through the Mississippi, in the Midwest and Ohio Valley, potentially as we go into that 20th or the 15th, the 20th, and beyond that time frame. So we'll keep you guys updated on that as far as the severe weather situation goes. But right now, if you guys got time, breathe, relax. We've got that threat on Saturday and Sunday, but then as we go into next week, we should be relatively quiet until about Wednesday, Thursday. And we'll talk about that here in just a second with our troughing pattern. You guys can see here, this is what our troughing looks like actually. You've got our low pressure system bringing us our threat for Saturday. This is what's left of our system that brought that 3-day, multi-day outbreak or multi-day severe weather event from Friday or from Monday into Tuesday and into Wednesday yesterday before exiting the coastline. As we do get storm reports on those, I will keep you guys updated on the latest out of that. As we go into Saturday and Sunday here, you see that low pressure system dip. You can see a surface low kind of regenerate and intensify here. This will give us that severe weather threat here for the Gulf Coast. So we're talking the Gulf line here, basically south of Arkansas. Now, if this were to shift up a little bit, we could see more of a moisture pool return, maybe up into Tennessee and Mississippi and Alabama here, but I'm not expecting that to really happen as of now. We'll kind of see what our Euro and our other ensembles and models done as we get closer to this. Actually, our short range models come into range tomorrow, so we'll talk more about that on the HUR and the NAM tomorrow. But seeing that system move through on Sunday and Monday, then we get a ridge that develops, and then I want you guys to pay attention to next week. If we get a little shortwave trough that does in fact eject before our main event late next week, so basically next Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to watch this. But if we do get some type of severe weather out of this next week, this could shunt that big major severe weather uptick as we go into the 15th and beyond. So we're going to have to watch this really closely, kind of what we saw last week where we had that shortwave come in before our main event on Monday and Tuesday, and it kind of allowed for a less pull in moisture and instability, giving us a lesser overall threat for severe weather. It was definitely there on the table. It did not happen due to the underdone dew points. Our warm sector, our instability was not that great. So we'll watch this as we go into next Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I want you guys to see this. This is our big dip in the jet stream. Look at this trough. Very, very identical to what we just had with our troughing shape this past week. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, this low pressure system actually took the same course. There will be some type of winter component to this as we go into late next week, so the 10th and beyond, as I was mentioning. And there probably could be some type of severe weather event from the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, down into the plains and the Southeast and Dixie Alley again. So we're going to watch this. This is definitely a favorable trough. The European shows this. The GFS shows this. The Icon shows this. All of our ensembles are showing this. It's just, are we going to get enough moisture, enough instability to get this to flow and give us a bigger, robust severe weather event? I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll have to watch trends and kind of see. And then past that point, we get into uncertainty with still a very, very active troughing pattern. I mentioned talking about those dew points just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we could see with those dew points here. And you can see, the dew points get pulled in this week here. So we actually do have a pretty decent shot at some low end severe weather this week across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So dew points will be into the 60s to support that. There will be some pretty decent instability, not extreme instability, but enough to get a damaging wind, hail threat, and maybe an isolated tornado threat going. So that'll be Saturday and Sunday of this weekend here. We'll get a little bit of a dry pull into Monday and Tuesday. And then I want you guys to see this. As that first little shortwave trough comes in, it tries to pull in moisture, but we're just not seeing. You want to see those darker blues there, those lighter blues, those 60 plus dew points to really get a more robust open warm sector for severe weather. We do have 50s, but I just don't see this being enough for significant severe weather. Maybe an isolated severe weather shot up into the Mississippi Arklatex areas there and maybe the lower Ohio Valley. But as of now, we start to see a little bit of a more pull in moisture as we go towards that 15th time frame, that major trough moving in. But once again, we see those 50s, but we don't see those 60s. So we're going to have to really see an uptrend in moisture pool to see a severity increase in our significant potential for severe weather as we go to that second and third week of March. So we've still got 8+ days to watch this. Things will clearly change. We watched things change with last week's system as we went into, or this week's system as we went into the following couple days getting up to it. We had a lot of instability. Our dew points were there. They downtrended. Our troughing changed a little bit. So we could see an uptrend. We could see a downtrend. We could see nothing. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to monitor the threat for severe weather from the 10th and the 15th time frame of March. That system moves through, and then past that point, we're into the question mark of unknown, but we could see more robust potential for severe weather, especially as we get into the March and April time frame. Just kind of gives you guys an idea of what we could see, where our precip's going to be at. You can see that snow moving through the Colorado, the Rockies there, moving east here. That's going to give us that low pressure system that's going to set up on Saturday and Sunday. So isolated showers and thunderstorms with a marginal threat for severe weather as of now for Saturday and Sunday across the deep south there. And then we get into Monday and Tuesday, relatively dry. Might start to see little clipper systems kind of skirt across southern Canada, northern North Dakota there, northern Minnesota. But I want you guys to watch this low pressure system coming in, like I said, on Tuesday and Wednesday here, giving us the threat for maybe a low end isolated thunderstorm general rain risk here across the deep south. And then this bigger system moves in, and you can kind of see what we're doing here. We've got another very, very strong low pressure system here around 980, maybe 979, 79.8 or 978 millibar low here. And you can see where that front could set up. So this is where we could see that shot for severe weather as we go into next Saturday and next Sunday. There will be more snow and cold air on the backside of this. So I expect another kind of cool down after this system comes through. And then after that, we should be mostly done with the Arctic air. Can't say that for sure, but it looks to be a pattern trend that we're going to start to see substantial warming across majority of the United States as we go towards that third week and fourth week of your March. So that's what I've got for you guys today. If we have any updated changes, we will talk about that in tomorrow's video. I will not have a weather briefing tonight. We'll start going back into that tomorrow. I'm going to take just a day off today, get my voice back. I feel like my voice is so choppy today. But I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Be safe, be weather aware, and we will see you guys in the next one.